Day. My boy Chris Banks in the building. The one with he changed his name again.
I'm using my real name this time, man. Using my real name, bro.
I resent his introduction because you should have used White Sox fan. You gotta put that in there, bro. Don't be trying to flight us. It's 50%. We're 50-50 on this board now, man.
But we ain't talking about baseball now, so we can get to that when baseball season hit around. This gonna be real good this season, then. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not. Not for y'all. No, it's not.
You got a Sox fan along with you, Marcus. Not so.
My man.
Yeah, man.
Yo, but before we kick it off, we talk about the Bulls. The Bulls and a 3-game split, or whatever you want to call it. Let's talk about a little bit about the Bears. They have they fired Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, and they've been doing a lot of interviews these past few days for a GM and a head coach. Out of all the people that you didn't heard, which two pair that you think? Because it's kind of crazy because they said they're going to hire. They could hire a coach first, then a GM, which I think is crazy. But let's just get down to the basic of the GM and the head coach. Who are you guys' top pick for those two positions? Let's start with you. Let's start with our guest, Chris Banks. Who you got in mind?
Well, the one they just fired from Miami. I want Brian Flores, bro. I want him. Brian Flores. He done had what? 2 winning seasons in Miami, bro. Like I still don't understand why the Dolphins fired him. He had 2 winning seasons. Of course, they ain't make the playoffs. They ain't make the playoffs this year, whatever, bro. But it's still like, they went like 9-8 or something like that. Then they went 10-6 last season, bro. So it's like, man, and plus he a black. I'm biased, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm biased towards black coaches, bro. I want to see. I am, bro. I want to see all black coaches in the NFL, bro, because we barely got enough black coaches as it is, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Yeah. So, like, I'm a real candidate for Brian Flores. I want to see him, man. Right. I want to see Brian Flores. And as far as the GM go, I don't know, bro. I ain't heard no good GMs out there yet. So, as far as the GM go, I really ain't been hearing no good GMs out there yet. So, I don't know. I don't know. I got to do a little more research on who I want the GM to be. But like you said, bro, how is we go hire a coach before we hire a GM? That defeats the purpose of the GM job, bro.
Right. That's your main job to do.
Exactly. That's your main job, to scout the coaches and all the coordinators and everything. I hire them, bro. Like, that to me, that just defeats the purpose of the GM. Like, if you gonna go that way, then Ted Phillips, the president, he should just hire all the coaches or whatever then.
Right.
You go that way.
I see. Okay, well, let's go.
I want Ted Phillips gone too, bro. Trust me. I want Ted Phillips gone too.
He's got to go. Don't let him hire anything.
I want him gone too, bro.
Let's go, Ted. Who you got?
I agree with the whole Brian Flores thing. I think that what that man was able to do with 2 or 3 seasons in Miami with no talent at all, and to be right there on the cusp of making the playoffs in a hard division where it's been owned by Buffalo and New England, so and he's gotten the respect of his players. It's one thing about Miami is none of those guys ever talked bad about their coach. They never said that the coach lost the locker room. He always had those guys ready to play. They came out, they respected everything he talked about, and he changed the culture there. Because before Brian Flores came in, Miami was a new stadium, not selling out, not having people come in there. Brian Flores comes in, changes the atmosphere, brings in winning players, and they buy into a system with no talent. And then they're sitting there and they're winning games. And that's the type of coach you need for the Chicago Bears is that guy is because he can come in and change this culture because, yes, we had 2 years of playoffs with Matt Nagy, yes, but we screwed the pooch. You need to bring a guy that's going to come in that's going to demand right off the bat respect and say, listen here, this is what I'm trying to do with this team. You are going to be held accountable for your mistakes, not that I'll take the blame for you, but you need to man up behind closed doors and say, hey, coach, that was my fault. And I think that he's the guy. And another guy that I would love to see, but I don't think he'll ever leave. I would love Mike Tomlin to come out, to be taken from Pittsburgh and to come here. 15 seasons of non-losing seasons. He's dealt with the biggest head case in football in Antonio Brown. And he's also dealt with Ben Roethlisberger and his rape charges. So that's the guy I would bring in here because he's another guy that demands respect. He comes into day one and says, listen, this is how we play. This is how we're going to do it. If you don't like it, there's the door. And guys buy into that. But I think Brian Flores, to me, would be the head candidate besides Tomlin. I think you hear rumblings of Jim Harbaugh. And Jim Harbaugh left, the NFL with a good NFL record and a Super Bowl win with San Francisco. And he's done one thing that these other Bears coaches haven't done. We've had in the past year since Lovey is he's beat the Green Bay Packers every time he's gone against them coaching. So that weighs in. But GM wise, the guy that I would like to see is right now he's with the Cleveland Browns. He's not their GM, but he's like I forget what his name is and what position he holds, but he came from Green Bay, and he was a part of Green Bay when they drafted. He was a part of the draft of telling them about Devontae Adams, Brian Beluga, and I forget a couple other guys they got. And then he moved over to Cleveland, got in Myles Garrett, was in the year for Baker Mayfield, Peoples-Jones, and going after Nick Chubb. The guy knows what he's doing. I think he's player personnel. I forget his name, but he's the guy I would bring in because he's got a track record of finding gems and bringing gems to an organization, and they pan out. We haven't had it. Ryan Pace was probably the most, next to Phil Emery, was probably the most retardedest GM on the planet. If not him, I think Louis Riddick off of Monday Night Football. He knows what he's talking about. He knows the game of football. He doesn't take crap. And he's probably would be the one to go say, listen, I'm going to talk to McCaskey myself. I'm not going through Ted Phillips. Ted, deal with Arlington Heights because you're a real estate guy. Take care of that. Don't do any football operations.
Right. So, Marcus, who you got?
In order for me to effectively answer this question, man, I have to first transcend sports. And I said this like maybe 2 years ago, and everybody laughed at me. And I kind of touched on this last week when I mentioned Steve Nash being brought up to coach the Phoenix Suns. I said, has anybody thought about hiring Steve Nash? And everybody laughed like, you stupid. He's never coached on any level. Lo and behold, Steve Nash was hired, and Steve Nash has seen great success. So for me, a general manager, in other words, if you can hire a Steve Nash who's never coached to get a general manager, you can pretty much find a diamond in the rough by tapping into an unknown. Like, get an unknown, man. It doesn't have to be a name. It doesn't have to be a part of that carousel. People that's getting fired, oh, let's get him. He's available. So, I mean, you got to find that. What was his name? That coach in the Boston Celtics. That the young kid. Steve, what's his name?
Brad Stevens.
One of those type of guys. And again, I'm transcending sports to make an example that you can sometimes find a guy who hasn't been around the block. Find somebody that's new. Or the answer to that general manager question is anybody that's not already in the Bears organization. You know what I mean? Nobody in in fact, fire the whole family. I wish the family sells the team. Sell the team. You sell the team. That's the answer to that. You sell the team. And I tinkered around with the idea of Mark Cuban. Well, he's not a Chicagoan. So what? He's a businessman that understands if I purchase this team, I'm going to get football people in play. That's what the Packers have always had on us. Football people in play. Yeah. They know how to develop. They know how to find quarterbacks, develop them. They know how to develop positions. That's what they do. Now, as far as the coach, until this guy, I know that they said that he's not interested. He don't want to come back. But until he is dead, until he has a headstone and is 6 feet under, I would go after Bill Cowher. You can't make me believe that if you give this guy the keys to the whole organization, say, you are my president, you are head of football operations, you do what you want. Give him a blank slate, give him a blank check, tell him, fill it in, you are our coach effective tomorrow. You cannot make me believe that he will not come to Chicago, which is a city just like Pittsburgh. I mean, he's still on Sunday. He's still in football. You still see him every Sunday. Why wouldn't he coach? You know what I mean? I mean, Bill Cowher, he's a blue collar guy, man. Why wouldn't we say here? What would it take for you to come and coach a pillar of the NFL, a pillar of sports, the Chicago Bears? What would it take? Well, you can't make me believe he's going to say no. He's going to say what he talked.
I think from what I heard, it was his family. He like being around his family right now, so that's why he really haven't looked into any coaching.
When football is how he's still gone every Sunday. When football is done in early February, they don't start again to when June, July. I mean, you have 7 months out of the year with your family. I respect the fact that he wants to be with his family.
But the thing about with NFL coaching is your season's never done because after the season ends in February, or if you don't make February, you're in the books working up to find out what you need to fix, who you want to go get. You got coaches that are leaving your staff. And Bill Cowher has come out and said it because there was many times that the Bears were up offering positions. Other teams were going after him that had, better talent than us. And he clearly stated, he's like, I'm done with football. Like, I just want to be around my family. And if I remember straight, I think there was one of his daughters was sick, and he wanted to be close to her, just in case if anything by far happened. I don't know if she's still sick to this day.
I get all that, but you know what? I just think that seasons change, and maybe his daughter's better. Maybe he's got to change his mind. I mean, just maybe. Like, hey, man, you're the president. Did other teams offer him the keys to the car? I mean, you just don't know, man. You at least got to revisit it. You at least got give yourself a chance, man. This is
it would still have to be the McCaskies would have to be not a part of this team because George McCaskey has given the keys to Ted Phillips and let Ted Phillips, after hearing everything that I've heard this offseason about Ted Phillips, like Ryan Pace was a Ted Phillips guy. George McCaskey had nothing to do with that hiring. He was because Mickey Loomis is friends with Ted Phillips. They're real close. They're golfing buddies. He said, hey, I got a guy, Ryan Pace, over here who's young, and he helped us bring in Drew Brees. I think you should give this guy a shot. Ted Phillips brought it to the table, and they went with it because Sean Payton signed off, and a lot of people signed off. And George McCaskey never had nothing to do with that. Now, also, what I was hearing about George McCaskey, he had nothing to do with the Matt Nagy hiring either. He was told, like, hey, we found the coach. This is the guy that we're all going for. Ryan Pace and them have looked into it. This is what the direction they want to go. And then you read about what happened with Trubisky and Nagy.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff going on now in this organization. And I think that's why I agreed with them hiring Bill Polian to come in to help them. Listen, and that was George McCaskey that did that. Said, hey, listen, I need your help finding the right people because I'm done with this whole, well, I'm your friend, you're my friend, and let's come into the organization and not do it. And what we've seen as Bears fans is the Bears top brass don't give a crap about us fans. They care about revenue. How many people can we get into the stadium? How many jerseys can we sell? How much money can we move these tickets for? And here's the thing is, as a general manager or as an owner of a team, you would think that if you put a winning product on the field, you'll get more money because people are going to want to come watch your product. But if you're bringing in the same crap, the same bums that don't care about anything, and you want a yes man, you're not going to get where you want to go. You have to bring in somebody that's going to be like you said, Marcus, a clean slate. I would love Bill Cowher, but the McCaskey family has to sell this team to somebody to come in to say, for that man like a Mark Cuban to come in and say, hey, Bill Cowher, you're my guy. I'm letting you be the president. I'm letting you be the GM. I'm letting you be the head coach of this team. Do what you want to do. And I think that right there would be like, Bill Cowher would be like, sounds like a good idea. Because, I
mean, that's the type of stuff you bring your family to Chicago for. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bring them close.
Right.
Well, I mean, and I like all your guys suggesting and stuff like that. I know Leslie Frazier's name's been out there as well as far as the head coach, but that's bringing in back. You thinking back of old school Bears. I mean, it's time to get away from that. Let's, like you said, bring in some new blood up in there and get a fresh start So there's no tides.
I would bring the old school guys in though too, because you need a coach and someone in that system that's gonna put the blame on a player and say, listen, you're the one that got the holding call, you're the one that got the pass interference, and not be there sitting big if a guy messes up a play and gives up a winning touchdown to be like, it's okay, buddy, next week you can get him. No, sit your ass the fuck out and next guy up mentality. Hey, we're trying to win. We're not trying to sit here and play favoritism. No.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, and I like the Lewis Roderick, his being a GM. I think I wanted him last year because I thought Pace was going to be out of here last year, and his name was mentioned quite a few times or whatever. And he always praising how the Bears is in a good position. They not out of it. He always saying they just need to tweak here and there. So I figured he haven't even been for an interview yet, but they still doing interviews. So I don't know. He haven't interviewed for nobody though. So I don't know if he's interested or they not even. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on as far as with him. But I like to see him get a chance, and I like the Miami Dolphins as a head coach. They head coach as a chance too. So we'll see what happens, man, because it's like a process. But hopefully they get a GM first so he can bring in his guy opposed to the Bears organization bringing in their guy. Because, I mean, what's the point of that? So now let's get back to what we came here for. Let's get into some more talk. You know, we started off with a 9-game winning streak. Now we're on a 3-game sled. Now we know all the injuries that they had. I mean, the COVID and stuff like that. We got to get back on track. Now that we got another injury, a big main injury, which is Zach LaVine. There's no timetable when he'll be out or whatever. Alex Caruso is out of protocol, so he'll be back. He's probably won't come back until this weekend or whatever. So, what do you guys think about the skid? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got to get back on track. So to get back on track, where do we start? I'm gonna start with let's go with you, Tim. Let's start with you. Go with Tim first.
I think that missing Caruso, Green, and now Derek Jones is a big part of your defense. And now LaVine, I think that you got to make a move. If going against the 3-game losing, we've been getting killed on the boards, like against Brooklyn and Golden State, who have no center, no big guys. We got killed on giving up extra them getting extra possessions because their offensive rebounding, and we're sitting here with Nikola, who I don't know what goes on half the time in his mentality in his dome, but like, why wouldn't you start maybe put him and Tony and Bradley at the same time to get a guy who can grab rebounds? Because you see teams that they're like the other night against Boston, the last night against Boston, they had Horford and that guy Williams on the floor, and I saw Kobe White guarding Horford. Well, what does that do? Like, you gotta man up and put Bradley out there for a couple minutes. I'm not saying he's got to play the majority of the game at that position, but try out there to try to control these offensive rebounds. And I know we talked about it in the pregame, but dude, Nikola can't play the pick and roll to save his life. That man is lost beyond lost. Like, I thought I was lost watching him, and I may have walked out of the room into the kitchen and didn't know I was there at the time watching this man play basketball. He was bad. In all 3 games, he was horrendous. And my opinion is, I think he needs to be traded. I think he needs the guy you move. Let's not worry about Patrick Williams and Kobe White. Let's try to move Nikola, because as of watching the past 3 games, I don't think he fits this system at all. He can't play defense. He's slow on defense. He gets lost on defense. And then he's a big man. You're 6'11" with one of the best post-up games, and you want to shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah.
That's where I think, and maybe Donovan needs to go back down, because when undefeated.
Yeah, well, Chris, what you think? What's your thought process on this 3-game sled?
Man, but like Tim just said though, man, I ain't gonna put all the blame on Vucevic though, man. It's like it's a lot to do with the injuries and everything too, bro. But we definitely need a big man that could like DeMarcus Cousins, like the Bucks just released him, bro. Signed today. Now they just released him. I don't think nobody. Wait, no, did somebody sign him yet? Denver signed him, I think, right?
Sign the Nuggets.
Yeah, Denver signed him, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Denver signed him, man.
Okay.
But my thing is, like, y'all know that's what we need is another big man that could defend the post, a big man that could, you know what I'm saying? A big man that could rebound. Because, like you said, Vucevic, he just looked lost on defense. I don't know. And then, like I told you earlier, saying it's like he was in Orlando. He wasn't this bad in Orlando, bro. I don't know what happened that just like I don't know what his NBA man is at, bro. Like I don't know what he do, but he a big man that just like to shoot, and we just need a defender, bro. That's why I'm saying I can't wait till Pete Will get back, bro. But this 3-game slid, man, it got to do with a lot of injuries too, bro. A lot of injuries, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's frustrating. It definitely is frustrating. But Mark, what's your thought process on the 3-game slid? What you think is going on? Well, we know what's going on, but get your thought process. What's happening?
First of all, man, before I begin, I gotta say this, man. I gotta say this. Look, who's looking like this right about now?
Come on, man.
Who's looking like that right now?
Hey, man.
I mean, come on, bro. That's a dope look, man. But it just reminds me, you got that whole lean going. It's like I dropped it in the group too, man.
Hey, Mark, funny, man.
That's classic.
Oh man, I had to, Chris. I had to. The Bulls, man. I just think we need to just pump the brakes. It's our first 3-game skid. Okay, because let's kind of put it in some sort of perspective. It's our first 3-game skid. Golden State, prior to coming in to Chicago and beating us, they had lost 5 of 5. Nets had lost 3 games straight a few times and had losses in clusters. The Lakers are still terrible. This is our first 3-game skid. We've persevered through COVID, injuries, but yet we're still the number 1 seed. As far as Vucevic goes, I think we kind of find out who he is, right? He's not a superstar. He's a third piece. He's a third scorer. Possibly he could be a fourth with the emergence of Kobe White. So we kind of know what he is. I don't think right now we should be saying, oh, we need another big. We needed a big when we were amidst our 9-game winning streak. You see what I'm saying? So this is not time to panic, say, oh, man, we need to clean house. We need to do this. This is our first 3-game skid, and we're still the number 1 seed. Now, does that mean that we should be okay and not look over our shoulder? No, because this is probably the stretch where Milwaukee is about to take over the conference because KD is out 4 to 6 weeks. The Bulls are not looking strong, and that's to be understood. But at the same time, we still got guys out. Got to get Caruso back. Lonzo Ball is out. Zach didn't even make the trip. Once we get these guys back, and Jones Jr., he's out now. Once we get guys back, we'll still be on pace for 55, 56. It's time to panic. We got to get continuity back. That's another thing. We don't have continuity. If you sing those last 2 games where we were not rebounding, we were not hitting shots, that third quarter against Golden State for me was bad. No continuity. And I hate to say this while we're live, or it sounds like I'm whining. Part of it is I'm whining, but we didn't get calls, and I knew that. I said it somewhere in this post. In one of those posts, I said the Bulls are going to get ran tonight. I said the referees will not let the Bulls even hang around in this game because it's on ESPN and it's against Golden State. Same thing with Brooklyn.
Twice.
Twice. There's no way in the world a team that's the number 1 seed, been playing as well as we have, loses both games by more than 30 points.
Yeah,
y'all think that's a coincidence?
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that Brooklyn game. Why are you moving us an hour and a half back? And for people to watch, no disrespect, but the Mavericks and the Knicks, who the hell cares about the Mavericks and the Knicks?
They put us on the Lakers starting time.
And that's what I told my cousin. The Bulls never played that late unless they're on the West Coast. That West Coast trip. They never played that late, bro.
No,
I was just like, man, what the hell is they doing, man? Like,
and I think you kind of took. I think that kind of took away from the Bulls too, because now they're ready to go for prime time 7 p.m. Game time, Chicago. That's how we roll.
Right.
And then ESPN comes and goes, well, hey, we're going to play you at 9:30 because we want the nation to see the Dallas Mavericks and the Knicks. Who the hell cares? People want to see Bulls versus Brooklyn, 1 versus 2, not 7 versus 10. Nobody cares about that. Yeah, it's a we got to get Luka on TV. Who the hell cares?
Yeah,
That on TNT or something on Thursday night. But why are you moving the game back? And then all of a sudden, against Golden State, we're playing at 6:30.
Yeah, off balance. It was totally off balance.
Yeah, like that. I think that might have played a big role into it too, like changing up game times. Where, as Bulls fans and as Bulls players, your custom home game is 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I said, with the Booth thing, I didn't ever say he was bad as far as I just like you said, Tim, and I said this at the beginning of the season. I don't think he fit because of the defensive and the Bulls like to run, and you explained in the pre-show we did that he's not running the floor like we want him to. So I mean, and I just look at Cousins not on Denver. He's not on, they didn't ever pick him up. He was talked about going to Denver, but he never got picked up. So he's still out there. But we always said it needed a big. I'm not with the trading the Whites and Patrick Williams, because right now Patrick Williams is taking up shots now. So we don't know when he'll be back. Mm-hmm. He's taking up shots and just like Derrick Rose did when he was, but never came back. But I think this is a little bit different. I think he'll be back like probably sometime in February, beginning of March, whatever. So that's one of the things that we got to look forward to. Power forward coming in and run the floor. We do need a center that run, even though Cousins don't run the floor, but we know he's a threat inside and outside. To rebound. Mm-hmm. Who's to me? I post up in the group. He had the Boston center in a post to dunk. Because he was down low, killing. Boston has nothing. These last 3 teams that have no center that could actually mess with him in a post, but he consists on shooting the top of the threes, like top of the key threes, like for what? We don't even need it. You know what I'm saying? The game could be like back and forth. Then you come down there and shoot a 3. That really throws the rhythm completely off, because now you get into a 3-point battle with Golden State and Brooklyn. You can't do that with them guys. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gonna win. Yeah, you ain't gonna win that battle.
No. The Bulls had a big winning streak, that 9-game winning streak, because teams come down there and shoot threes and miss, and then you give it to DeMar, 15-footer all day, just constantly hitting him. But when you get into that 3-pointer type game, which is not the Bulls, that's really not that game. That's when things start to go a little out of get them out of sync.
It was either against Golden State or Brooklyn, but I don't remember. But it was I think Kobe White came down the lane and made a great pass to Nikola, and he should have gone up and hammered that for the and one. He tries to do a little gay ass layup. Like, dude, you're 6'11". Power that home. Get the and one. You already got the foul. Hammer it home. Make a statement and say, hey, I'm going to own you down low tonight. And the guy that I think that fouled him was like maybe 6'9". Like, come on, dude. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand what his mentality is. Like, when he grabs rebounds, go back up. We've all been taught, if you grab a rebound, go right back up with it. He wants to kick it out to a 3-point shooter. Bro, again, you're the biggest guy on the court. You're supposed to be dominant. Like last year, we weren't talking about this. Like we loved the 2-man game between him and Levine. And I think that's what he's accustomed to is I got to get my 20 to 25 touches down low. And last year, he was banging down low and putting up points. But I don't know what got into his mind this year and was like, well, I want to start shooting more 3-pointers than posting up down low.
I just don't. I just think it's a mid-season wall. That's it. That's all. That's it. It's a mid-season wall. I think this team is still very capable. You're still going to get 53, 54 points from Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. You still got Kobe White, who's hasn't even scraped the surface of what he's going to end up being, barring that we keep him. As I mentioned before, team continuity still isn't there. It's just the mid-season wall. You look at, and I continue to point to Golden State. They hit a wall. Brooklyn, they hit a wall. Matter of fact, they've never fully got into full steam. our first 3-game losing streak. I know this sounds redundant and repetitive, but we can't. Somebody said no trades. No time for a trade, and I agree with that. I don't think that there should be any trade suggestions because of this skid. If there's a trade suggestion, it's because we always needed a big man, and I think that we need a big man that's going to give us maybe 7.7 rebounds. We don't need a blockbuster trade. We don't need anything of that variety now because we don't know what Kobe White. I would at least wait until see what Kobe White or Patrick Williams until we know what they are. We know what they can bring, and then that kind of scopes their value. Say, okay, then we can package him and Patrick Williams for a Sabonis. Because like I said last week, I don't want Patrick Williams going away and then he's Kawhi Leonard, and I don't want that. I'd be teed off if that happened. So I think we should just wait, man. Let this thing. The reality is, I'm going to say this as a Bulls fan, and this is going to hurt. The reality is, we probably won't win the championship this year anyway. That's an actual reality. Are we better than the big three in Brooklyn? Are we better than these other teams? Probably not.
Milwaukee,
probably not. So the trade makes us the favorite. If we trade this year, probably not. So why not? Let's see what Patrick Williams and White are going to be. Should we trade them? Because God forbid we trade them and these guys are dominant somewhere else. I would say let's pump the brake. First 3-game losing streak, mid-season wall. Let's just, let's relax a little bit. That's my suggestion.
Well, my thing is, I mean, for a while I never traded anybody. It was more like, okay, these 10-day contract that they giving away, we give a 10-day contract to players that we don't even need. As far as like we getting shooting guards, we stack Powell at shooting guards and Powell and small forward. Right now we got our small forward Green playing power forward position. We got and then one of the guys in the group, Derrick Jones, is not a power forward. He's a small forward.
But he playing power forward, exactly. But they got him playing power forward, bro.
Exactly, but that's what I said. He's really not a power forward. He's too thin to play power forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we get a legit power forward, that's a banger. And I think we have one, but he's hurt and he's like a no name, but he's a name like Tyler Cook. I think he was playing good. Before he got hurt, he started to play a little good. He was playing a little decent. They really didn't give Jordan Bell a real sure shot at that position. And he's he's 6'8", but he's still a big guy that plays power forward. You know what I'm saying? Why not bring him back instead of bringing in? I mean, the Malcolm Hill yesterday looked pretty good yesterday, but you still you end up signing Matt Thomas for the remainder of the year for what? We don't need that guy. We don't need what he brings to the table. We needed a big, and we not getting big. Maybe they got some up their sleeve. I don't know. But the reason I go in so much on we need a big is because we got small forwards, shooting guards playing playing a power forward position. That's what's wearing our team down right now.
Exactly. And you see with Stanley Johnson, man, when he was with the Bulls, they signed him to their contract. I didn't even know they released him. So I should have seen the Lakers playing on Christmas. Like, man, Stanley Johnson wasn't doing none of that with the Bulls, bro. Now he went to LA. Yeah, he won. They weren't giving him They weren't giving him no time. So then he went to LA. He like, all right, now y'all don't want to play me. I'm gonna show y'all what I could do here in LA. It's like, man, like what? I did he signed Ilyasova. You say what? Yeah. What you say?
No. You're right. I mean, Stanley Johnson, they picked him up. I mean, but he's 6'5". He's not like a big guy. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, man.
Well, not even that. You got that rookie kid that's on the bench that I forget what his name is from overseas. He's 6'10", 6'11". Why are we not incorporating him into that to see if maybe he's the guy that can grab rebounds? We're not asking the kid to come in and give us 10, 12 points. We're asking to help box out, grab rebounds so teams aren't getting these second chance buckets and chances to do. And maybe he can be the guy that we haven't seen yet because we haven't seen what he can do. Maybe he is a rim protector. We don't know, but he's constantly sitting there. And then when they put this kid in, I'm looking at him like, oh my God, this kid is huge. He's tall. Why aren't we trying him? Why are we not trying to?
Because he's goofy. Because he's not ready, man. He's not ready.
Hey, the way it is, he may not be ready, but if he can give me 5 to 6 rebounds and he can box out somebody, I'll take that all day long. And you can be goofy as you want. I'm not asking you to score buckets. I'm asking you to help control, because the last 3 games, we got killed on offensive rebounding. 2 teams who have no true big guys, and a team that yesterday that put out 2 big guys and played the most of the game in Horford and Williams, and we got annihilated on rebounding. And that's the thing. But my thing is, why not try this kid out with all these injuries we got? See what he can do. You know what I mean? Like you're putting Malcolm Hill and McKinney in to play power forward roles. That's not the answer. And I think someone posted up here that said that, hey, you know what? We got guys playing out of position. That's why it's leading to these injuries. You know, you're telling Jones Jr. to go guard a power forward, and he's only 6'7", 6'6", skinny, and he's getting banged around. Same thing with Green. He's 6'4", and he's out there playing power forward. Caruso out there playing against the big guys. And it's leading to injuries. Now you're telling Zach LaVine got hurt going for rebounds, because you're telling one of your true superstars, hey, I know we don't have a big guy right now, but I need you to go crash down there with these guys. And then he ends up tweaking something in his knee. What's next? DeMar DeRozan going down there to grab rebounds, and then he gets hurt. Lonzo Ball getting hurt. We don't need that. And I think in this last game, you saw Dosunmu going down there grabbing rebounds and Kobe White. And it's like, you have a guy on the bench who's sitting right there. Try him. 2 minutes, 3 minutes at max. Try to see what he can do. If he can help you grab a couple of rebounds and put you ahead in the game, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, you see other teams every night trying to put guys in to figure situations out. And we're putting, like, I get it, small lineups work, but not all the time.
Yeah, it's only going to work for so long. But like I said, I just think that, like I said, I don't know why they did. I just don't. And maybe it's something about because of that. This not appealing to the Bulls. He's been out there for like a couple of years, not just this year. He was available for them last year, and they still. It's something must be going on with him. But I can't wait to Cook get, because like I said, Tyler Cook was playing actually decent before he got hurt. Whatever. I can't wait to see him come back. But we also need Patrick Williams. But it's some power forwards out there that we, what's that? Kenneth
Reed. Kenneth Reed.
Yeah, I mean, why not? What's going on with these guys that's actually out there that we're not bringing them in for 10-day contracts?
Well, AK knows something about Kenneth Fareed because he was there when he was in Denver, so he may have an inside track on that guy. So
he's not as hungry as he used to be. But that's to me, that's an indication that they don't want to make a move or a trade. For like a Patrick Williams, they're just going to hold it out. And maybe their philosophy is we probably won't win it this year. We're supposed to be a playoff team anyway. But I would say I'm not happy about this at all. But I would call it a silver lining. If there's anything good to come of this, at least Kevin Durant won't be around for 4 to 6 years. Again, I'm not happy because he's injured. But the fact of the matter is, the Nets probably won't take. They're not poised to take control of the division because Kyrie's still playing half games. Durant is gone, even though we have injuries. So it's kind of balancing each other, balancing it out, right?
Yeah, but Kyrie's about to come back full time.
Right. I mean, it's a silver lining. It's like, well, at least, like I say, even though Durant is hurt, at least New Jersey is not about to just run away with it. But Milwaukee, that's a different story. That's what we got to look out for. And then we got a boiling hot team tomorrow in Memphis. So we just got to get together, man. Just get some continuity together, man. I think we'll be all right. It's missing.
There's a guy that we talked about last week. I said the bullshit after, and New York got him for pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. Cam Reddish. If they would have made the move for Cam Reddish, I get it. He's not your typical. He's a wing player, but he's 6'8" and he can score. And he's a guy that could have came off the bench and gave us a little bit of help right now.
And I posted up there about Cam Reddish, and I wasn't even speaking about him being a Bull. I just put up there that they got him for literally nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like a second pick and Knox.
Johnny Knox, yeah. Kevin Knox.
Yeah, like
Johnny Knox,
the Bears receiver.
All right, the Bears. I don't know what Atlanta is doing. How are you a conference finalist last year and you cleaning house the very next year? Not even
yeah,
before the
now
All-Star break.
I don't
Yeah,
get it. And they're saying John Collins wants out now too.
Yeah.
But it's not even the All-Star break.
Wow.
That was just in the conference finals last year.
Yeah, I don't
Exactly,
get
bro.
it either. That's kind of weird. I think it has something to do with. I think it may have something to do with coaching and management, but I also think it may have something to do with Trae Young because I think they're giving Trae Young way too much power with this team, and John Collins is finally coming around saying like, hold on a minute here. That guy gets hurt a lot, and I'm still playing, and you treat me like straight boo boo. I wouldn't mind John Collins coming to Chicago.
That's a power forward.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Real nice.
That'd be nice. Straight up.
That's a power forward. He's a power forward. At the end of the day, I think that what's best because like yesterday alone, that game alone, rebounds 50 to 32. 50 to 32, right. and you only lost by 2. So imagine you being neck and neck at the rebound position. They would have blew Boston out.
Yep.
50 to 32.
Yep.
Hell, not even that. You could have lost the rebounding 50 to 40. We still would have won that game. Because we lost by 2, being 18 rebounds down. You grab 8 more rebounds and stop them from grabbing 8 rebounds and getting extra points. We may have won that game walking out of there with an 8-point victory.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like I said, I can't wait to like I said. I mean, I guess the Bulls is waiting for the buyout, see who all get brought out, which is fine. And we, like Marcus said, we still in first place. If we could maintain that first and second and third place, whatever, until the buyout, we feel good. Are we going to win the championship? I'm not saying we are, but I'm not saying it is not possible if you get the right fit. It'll get teams a habit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me ask y'all this. Okay. So the Bulls in first place, we get first place throughout the playoffs. I still really honestly, I don't think they'll still be able to contend with Brooklyn or Milwaukee, even by the Bulls being the number 1 seed. I still think Brooklyn and Milwaukee will beat the Bulls in a 7-game series.
Do you think that any trade would change that? So because that's what I'm saying. Just pump the brakes and don't do anything. Maybe Sabonis makes us comparable, but I refer to Giannis as this, a 10-ton mega bomb. That's exactly what he is. What can anybody beat him in a 4-game series? Regardless of what we do. That's the question.
Exactly. I mean,
who'll be the threat? I mean, let's say if Sabonis was the guy, who will actually be a threat in the East for the Bulls? Actually, when you look at the squad, when DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Sabonis, and you still got Boots.
I think to answer your question, I know where you're going with that. I think that makes our top 3 heavier in the Eastern Conference than the Eastern top 3: Utah, Golden State, and Phoenix. You're talking about Brooklyn. What's the other team? New Jersey, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and the Bulls with Sabonis. That makes our top 3 way better than their top 3. And then you still have teams like Philly. But to answer that question, man, it could be up for grabs. And then we don't know what Kyrie Irving is going to be.
I still think that the defending champions, the Milwaukee Bucks, is still the team to beat, no matter where they're sitting right now. They're playoff proven. They know Giannis knows how to close out games. They have a squad over there. They know what they're doing, and they're going to be tough come playoff time. But I think if you get a guy like Sabonis or Miles Turner, or hell, even if somehow, some way you swing, we signed DeMarcus Cousins, or you swing Karl Anthony Towns. Anyway, if you put us over the top, I think that if you can control the rebounding and the down low defense, I think it makes us tough to beat in the 7-game series. But it's still going to slide to Giannis, because I don't think Brooklyn is going to have the firepower, because we all know James Harden gets lazy. Yeah, this last couple weeks he's been playing ball, he's been doing good, but James Harden often gets lazy. Kyrie is Kyrie going to be full 100%? We all saw the other night against the Bulls. He may only had 9 points, and he still got the dribbles and stuff, but his shot looked horrible. KD being out 4 to 6 weeks, he's going to come back and still be KD. But how far do they fall in that 4 to 6 weeks? And they got to fight their way back. I think the constant is Milwaukee. Milwaukee is the team that scares me, because they have their full team from last year and they've added pieces and they're still that much dangerous. Philly, I think they're going to fall off because this whole trade talks is now they're talking about throwing Tobias Harrison with Simmons. And why would you want to throw Tobias Harrison? Him and Embiid have been playing great together, but you want to disrupt that because Embiid's your MVP. Well, there's other guys around Embiid that are helping him get there, and one of those guys is Tobias Harrison, willing to part ways with that for Simmons. And to me, is like, yeah, a lot of teams are looking at that deal, but I'm not trying to bring Ben Simmons in right now. If I'm in a playoff push and if I have a chance to get there, because you don't know what Ben Simmons you're getting. Are you going to get a Ben Simmons that's willing to play basketball, or are you getting the Ben Simmons that's going to be frustrated and ticked off because he doesn't want to be with that team? You know what I mean? So, I think that's where it comes down to.
And then you do that, then you got Ben Simmons who haven't played preseason, no type of real basketball in about 6 months or whatever. That's what Irvin looking like in the way he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if they trade, it can't be for a player that's not playoff ready. You know what I'm saying? For Damian, Damian what's the guy from Portland?
Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard. Yeah. If you do that, yeah, that's good. That's a good trade, you know, because he's playoff ready. But you just can't just trade those two players away for some draft picks and the one decent player.
Yeah, but Damian Lillard is going to be out now a couple of weeks because he's having surgery, abdominal surgery.
Yeah,
so, you know what I mean? He's going to have to come back. He's going to be ready to come back, but it's going to take him time to catch his rhythm. But that's the only trade I could see that between Portland and Philly being the trade to happen. Because, but, you know, you're going to get Damian Lillard who's ready to go, and then Portland can retool from there. But there's a guy that I know that's out there that's been a lot of people talked about, and he's on Denver. Bobo. Denver's trying to get rid of him. I'll take him.
Hell yeah, we'll take Bobo.
He's far more agile than his father. He can move.
Yeah. And Denver's been trying to get rid of him.
Hell, they don't play.
He was trying to go to Detroit. They had a trade in place in Detroit, but he didn't. Something about the physical. He didn't pass the physical, so they kind of nicked the deal or whatever. So now if they nick the deal, is he just worth a second round at which the Bulls could give up for him? You know what I'm saying? Why not?
Why not? They have a bunch of second round picks.
That was AK pick. You know what I'm saying? AK picked him, so try to make a move for him or whatever. I don't know too much about him. I know Mark has been talking about him even when they played in Denver. He was trying to get his attention or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I actually even before then I actually met him and talked to him when I was working at the hotel. When I say humble, he's a kid. He's like, I'm just glad to be playing basketball for a living. Very soft spoken. You know that that Sudanese humble spirit. Like, I'm just happy for life. He's a humble kid, ready to be molded. He's like clay.
He's like molded.
He's right. I'm happy to be here. You know, but I mean, I saw. It was one game. I can't remember who it was against, but he got off that game, and it showed me a lot. It was a microcosm of what he could be. He was agile. He was blocking shots. He can move. He's far more agile than his father was. I got a question, y'all. I know y'all probably ready to continue the Bobo thing, but did y'all guys do this today?
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't even do it.
Yeah, y'all need. I keep dropping reminders in there. NBA.com. I make it easy for y'all. Put the link in there.
But I voted about 30 times, man.
I don't care. Vote 30 times a day.
Our players are short side though. DeMar DeRozan is in. He's in. Zach LaVine is like.
This is my point. Let's rally. Let's hashtag get Zach in. Let's start it up. Let's do something.
I mean, but now that you said that, I mean, let's go. We'll end it with Ayo, because Ayo is playing a hell of a. The past couple of games he's been playing like even playing really good, except that game against Golden State. Chris, you kind of froze up a little bit. Well, you froze up, so I don't know if you can hear us. You may want to go out and come back. Okay? You hear it?
What are these for?
And hey,
Chris, you good?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now, man. It's like y'all breaking up. Though.
Okay. Before the Bobo, I mean, so are y'all agreeing? Should they try to get him? I mean, he haven't been rumored anything, but is that something they could use right now?
Yes, that's definitely something they could use. His defense and his rebounding down low. Yes, bro. Yes, that's definitely something they could use, man.
And
But like you said, it ain't.
he's a true
Go
7-footer.
ahead. Exactly, exactly. That's something we really need. That is something we really need, man. Yeah,
Okay.
hell
Before
yeah. I'm quite sure I'll take him.
Yeah, before we start off, Io's he had a historic game yesterday. 20 points, 10 assists, and shot 90% from the field. You know, a steal for the Bulls for second round pick at 38.
Yep.
What do we else we need from this guy? Because he's playing a hell of he playing defense against some top notch players these past couple of games or whatnot. Against the Steph Curry, the Bradley Bills, and he's been not shutting them down, but he's been containing them so they won't get off or whatever. What else we need from him to get him to the next level? You know what I'm saying?
How dare you not mention the 3 blocks against Trae Young? How dare you not mention that? I mean, I was laughed at again. And I called him a top 3 player in college basketball last year. I was laughed at. So what? I don't know. But because I saw him play last year. And I was like, this kid is going to be good. To come out in the second round, it's like every GM in the league, slap yourself in the face. Because that means everybody passed. Even the Bulls passed on him because we got him in the second round. But we got him. And he's proven to make Kobe White expendable. Already, we're not even in the second half of the season. This guy is doing everything he's told to do, and he just the look on his face, receiving guys like DeMar DeRozan. They showed DeMar was mic'd up. They told him, he said when he was guarding Harden, he said, "Don't put your hands out. When you put your hands out, he's going to reach your hands. He's going to reach that and go the other way." And the kid was looking like, yes. Just his mannerisms of receiving veteran advice. That tells me he wants to be here. He's shooting the ball. He's defending. That's first of all, if you're defending, that tells me you want to be in the NBA. He's defending. He's shooting. He's passing. He's out on the break. What more can you ask for?
Yeah.
Right.
What you got?
But like we were saying, like he defend, he play offense. He good. But like I was telling you, it's just something I don't know what it is about him. It's just something missing, man. Like some games, I think when I be watching, it's like sometimes I think he just like freeze up and get scared to play sometimes, man.
Still a rookie.
Like, damn, I know. I understand that. Yeah, I know he a rookie, but I don't know. It's just but like you said, on the defensive end, bro. On the defensive end, he a dog, bro. But I just think he need like a veteran guard or something, man, to just like push him over the hump or something. He real good though. Don't get me wrong, bro. Like I love his defense and his offense, especially the energy he bring off the bench. But it's just like he's just I don't know what he missing, bro. I don't know what he missing, man. And I told you earlier, said I think he could be an all-star, man. I think he could be an all-star in this league.
I think with Io, I think he said because even what Bradley Beal had told him because he got caught traveling twice, and Bradley Beal had told him, "Hey, you do this, don't hesitate, just go, don't think, just go." He ended up doing it on Bradley Beal, and Bradley like, I ain't tell you do it on me.
Yep.
So I mean, he's taking it in, and then before the season even start, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine had said, "I never saw a rookie ask so many questions like Io has." So he's getting information. I thought, and I told you, Chris, that and I keep on mentioning Jamal Crawford because I think he's a good teacher, a good mentor, along with Bo Cheeks. I think that's actually out there playing. With those two combined, I think he'll be something. And if they have a rookie game, he has to be in that rookie game, and that'll give him that more confidence. Like, oh, I'm here, I made it. You know what I'm saying? I think if he, why wouldn't he make the All-Star rookie
team? He should make. He gonna make it, man. He gonna make it. Like you said, he just need to be in a little more confidence on the court, man. That's all he need, man. Just a little more confidence, man.
I think he'll want to step on nobody's foot because he. I don't think he want to step on and make a mistake and everybody look because they're playing good. So he's playing his role. When you look at it, he's playing his role. He don't want to step on nobody's foot because they had a 9-game winning streak. He was playing decent. Then he started hitting a little skin, so he figured like, okay, let me step back a little bit because I don't want to be the cause of us continue to lose. He's just got to play. Just keep on playing like he's been playing. So I mean, but does he really make Kobe White expendable now? I mean, does he?
Because you got. I'm sorry, Tim. Because you got 4 point guards now. So yeah.
I think I agree with what Chris says. He needs a little bit more confidence, and I think he needs what whoever said on the chat over here said that he needs a little bit more confidence. And I think that's where Io needs to be, and I think he does make Kobe White expendable. But I think Kobe White is still needed because Kobe White has for 11 nights in a row has been consistent with scoring over 10 points a game. Io hasn't been consistent. You know what I mean? So, but Io brings a lot better defense. But I think, again, it came to with Patrick Williams last year. I think Donovan needs to take the chains off these guys. Listen, you tell Io, hey, listen, go out there and play your game. Do you. Because you see the glimpses of how good he can be. But again, like said, you see him kind of being hesitated to do it because he doesn't want to step on people's toes. Mm-hmm. Listen, we don't care about that as Chicago fans. Go ahead and step on somebody's toes. As long as you're making baskets and we're winning games.
As long as we win.
We'll let that ride. But I think that he's again, like how Patrick Williams, we talked about Patrick Williams last year. The first I think it was 10 games. Patrick Williams was killing. Then all of a sudden, he's hesitant to take shots. He's hesitant to drive the ball. He's passing out. And I see a little bit of that in Io too now. And it's like, come on, Donovan. These both rookies, Williams last year and Io have shown you they're not afraid to take the ball to the bucket. They're not afraid to put that shot up and play defense. Take some of the restraints off of them and see what they can do. Maybe Io is the answer to help us out down in later parts of the game to be in controlling the ball and playing defense. Kind of like who does he reminds me of somebody. I don't want to say a Patrick Beverly, but I want to more say he's more like what's Buddy's name from?
That can actually score. He's a Patrick
right.
Beverly.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of a Patty Mills. Without the 3-point shooting. Patty Mills plays defense, but Patty Mills is not afraid to take shots and control the offense and gets back and plays defense. I think Io can be so much better, and I think he can help out where you're not putting Lonzo Ball back in so much, where he's only resting for 3 minutes and you got to bring him back in. I think that if you take the restraints off of Io, I think he might be something that we need down the road. In a 7-game series where he may lock up the Eric Bledsoes or the Trae Youngs and he's locking up Kyrie Irving if we're in a 7-game series with them because we've all seen it. He's playing defense. He's just got to get a little bit better, a little bit more consistent, a little bit more toughness. But take the restraints off the guy because, like I said, we saw it with Patrick Williams. And we were all hyped on Patrick Williams, and we're like, oh my God, this kid's coming out the closet. Me, by far, last year, I was the one that said, hey, I don't like the pick. All of a sudden, the first 10 games, Patrick Williams is one of the best players in the league. And then all of a sudden, he got locked up like, hey, don't step on Zach's toes. Don't step on – hell with that. Go get the ball and score.
I think he, like I said, if he make the all-star team for the rookie, which I think he should, I think when he come back, that's the motivation that he's going to need. Like, man, that's okay. I got past that. I made it. I was around a bunch of – because like I say, he's a sponge, and somebody said it too. He's a sponge. He's taking it all in. So if you go to the all-star game and hang around with a bunch of all-star players, he's going to take from that. He's going to run with it. He's that type of player to me.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, we covered everything we need to cover. So, they play tomorrow against Memphis, and they got Memphis this week, Milwaukee this week, and I think they have
Death Row.
The two teams that stands out to me. Is somebody else?
That's what I know. We got Memphis and Milwaukee too. I know that for a fact.
We got we got Grizzlies tomorrow, Cleveland Wednesday, Bucks Friday. Let's fast forward to Sunday when we play the Magic.
Hey man, this is one thing I want to get off my chest too, man. A lot of these people talking about the damn 15, 16 Warriors will beat the 95, 96 Bulls. Man, no, they no, man. That just irritates me because it's like, man, they never watched Jordan and these Bulls play. That Bulls team was so defensive. Everybody on that's the whole starting lineup had defense up Luke Longley, bro. But he wasn't that bad on defense either, though. But from Rodman to Jordan to Pippen to Ron Harper, people forget that Ron Harper is a defensive player. He's just overlooked. His defense overlooked because he was playing with Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman.
Right.
And his defense gonna get overlooked because of that, bro. Like Ron Harper had defense. He was an all-star with the Clippers, bro.
Yeah.
The man was an all-star.
And that's the thing is the people that talk about that, never saw Ron Harper play with the Clippers. Never saw what that man was doing with the Clippers. You know what I mean?
Even with the Cavs.
You know how about Ron Harper with the Cavs?
Yeah, Ron Harper with the Cavs.
He gave Michael Jordan fits.
They don't know that.
Exactly.
And it don't matter what era you play it in. The Bulls are going to beat the living dog shit out of Golden State. You go ahead, shoot threes. Dennis Rodman is going to control the boards. Plain and simple.
All of that,
He gonna control the boards, bro. He gonna control the boards, man. Period,
all of that, it does. Well, what rules are they playing on? What era? What really burns me up? I don't even care about Steph Curry and they do 2 threes because I know we got perimeter defenders. What kills me is when people say, "Who gonna stop Durant?" I'm not. Two things about that. Scottie Pippen, in my opinion, is a top 3 defender of all time, all world. So Kevin Durant needs 40 points a game in a series to beat that Bulls team. Pippen is holding the 26.
Yep.
Ask Magic Johnson. That's one thing. The second thing is they say, "Who's going to stop Kevin Durant?" As if we don't freaking boast the greatest player in the world. Do y'all realize
who's stopping MJ?
Exactly.
Kevin Durant, there's your series. Kevin Durant. Michael Jordan is career 30.1. What they don't realize is he's career 33.3 in the playoffs. Kevin Durant is 29 points in the playoffs. Who's stopping Michael Jordan? And that's another thing that bothers me. Kevin Durant is the greatest shot maker the greatest scorer of all time. How are you the greatest scorer of all time when you're 30.1 points per game? That's why averages is so much better than total points all time, because you can play 20 years and accumulate or amass so many points. But when you're 30.1 points per game in a career that expanded more than 10 years, that to me makes you the greatest scorer of all time. Who's going to stop Kevin Durant? Are you serious?
Exactly. But like you said, a lot of these people ain't watch the Bulls play, bro. Because then they say, "Well, who go guard Curry?" Like what? Who go guard Curry? Like don't know.
Jordan is locking Curry.
Even Ron Harper, I still think Ron Harper could lock Curry up, bro. Ron Harper could lock Curry up, bro. That's just my opinion. I think Mike.
I'm putting Harper on Clay. I'm putting Jordan on Curry. Stay in his grill. Lock him up. Yeah, lock him up, man.
My whole question with that is, you know that Pippen's going to lock KD down, and KD's going to try to guard Scottie Pippen, which ain't going to happen because KD's defense is shitty as hell.
Exactly.
Rodman is going to get in the mind of all those players, let alone Draymond Green going to get kicked out in the first 2 minutes because Dennis may grab his ass and say something in his ear, like say, "Hey, cutie, how you doing?" You know, that's how Dennis is. Like they'll tell you, Dennis did some weird things. My question is to these people is, who on Golden State's going to stop Tony Kukoc?
They don't have
You have nobody that's going to guard that man who's 6'11", hitting threes, and he don't mind taking you down low and could take you off the dribble at the same time.
Tony offsets Klay Thompson. Pip neutralizes KD. Jordan is Jordan. I'm not even compare him to Stephen Curry or Steph Curry to Jordan. And Ron Harper is going to patrol the perimeter. And then Golden State
they don't have no big man that could. You say what, Marcus?
And I was going to say, and then Golden State's coach is going to come off the bench for the Bulls and just Tom Booty.
And then they ain't got nobody that can control Rodman on the rebounds, man. It's like, no, man.
And that's why the one true person they ask every year about this, he will never answer it. Steve Kerr never answers it because Steve Kerr knows in his mind, he knows that Bulls team will beat the dog shit out of his team, and he don't want to say nothing to hurt their pride because he's their coach. hey, it'd be a good series. No, you know the answer. You
He'll say
know
it when he's
the
done.
answer.
He'll say it when he's done.
Right. He'll say it when he's done. Yeah.
Exactly. And then to go back to what you said, Marcus, like it don't matter what era. The 90s had hand check. Now they don't have hand check. That's why there's so many teams score 130, 140 points. Teams don't score points like this in the 90s, man. They was not scoring like this. They took the hand check away, and that team it's not no defense in the NBA no more. First of all, that Bulls team would probably score 170 points a game easily, man. Easily.
With Rodman getting
Jordan would average 40 to 50 a night.
Right.
You're not hand picking Jordan? Oh, Jesus Lord.
Right.
And you talking about Rodman getting rebounds, and I've never seen anybody rebound like him. But if Rodman is getting rebounds in this era, that's extra shots for Jordan. That's extra shots for the coach.
Exactly.
Man,
and then a lot of them the big man now they shoot threes though. They don't play in the post. They shoot threes. They'll fuck the big man up from the night. The big man got to come out there and guard him at the 3-point. Okay, the big man will do that. Like they act like the big man ain't gonna come out there and guard him at the 3-point line. Like what?
But that right there, Chris, that right there alone just said all those threes they're shooting. Imagine how many rebounds Robin would be grabbing.
And here's the other thing.
Exactly.
And here's the other thing is
exactly.
And here's the other thing. Rodman would take the challenge of guarding KD. Oh, you want to? I'll guard you.
That's what I said. That's what I said. I say even if they don't put Pippen on KD, then Rodman to guard.
Ask Shaq how that went with Rodman guarding him. He'll tell you straight up that man was a dog. And was in him all day. And that's the thing is, even with the centers the Bulls had on that team of Bill Winnington and Luke Longley, Bill Winnington had a jump shot. We'll put Bill Winnington down low and hit him in the post, and that man will hit jump shots. Luke will tear them up on the inside because Luke will be a true center to take a hook shot and dunk the ball, not Vujacic and shoot threes. He'll go down low and have fun with that. And that's the thing is, that Bulls team was just so extraordinary of the minds that they had on that team. And Phil Jackson is going to out-coach Steve Kerr.
Yeah, and then somebody just said in today's game, Kukoc may be a top 10 player, which is true. I think that's about right. The way Kukoc playing. But you know what? And like I said, we covered everything, and we hit everything from the Bears to the Bulls. It's gonna be interesting, man. I hope you could come back to join us, man. Because when baseball season comes through, you know what time it is.
He's going to totally avoid you, Chris. He's not going to even invite you on. I promise you. He's going to be like, "Now I forgot. I couldn't even find you in the group, man. You left the group. You're not going to even want to come on." Take it from me, bro. Trust me.
Yo, it's gonna make this thing that much better.
Okay. He's saying that now, bro. He's gonna inbox me. I think we just go with 3 people, man. That's what he's gonna say.
Oh man. Yo, hey Marcus, he only gonna bring you in when we talk about the last 5 minutes.
Hey. So, Sage, you ain't gonna bring me in when the Cubs go down 11 game losing streak again, man.
No, hey, Chris, I wanted to bring you in, so we got you in now. You in though, bro. You in. What we do is, like I said, we're gonna try to make it consistent, whatever. Like I said, we just get some kinks out or whatever. Then we going full speed ahead with this. Like I said, this is CedItUp production with Bulls Full Cook with Marcus Anderson, Tim. We got Chris. Chris, is it you going with Chris or you going with?
Hey, I think I speak for all of us when I say change your freaking name. Get that transcript, whatever you call that. Change it. When I comment, it's always going in backwards. Anybody else got that same problem, man?
Yeah, but I do that too. He froze up. But once again, like I said, this is CedItUp. He without CedItUp production of Bulls Full Club. Man, we'll be back Tuesday. Hopefully Tuesday. We can see y'all Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday sounds good.
Until then, man, we'll check y'all later.